William Carlos Williams. He is an American poet born in Rutherford, New Jersey. He married Florence and had 2 sons. William Carlos Williams' father is William George Williams, who was English, and his mother is Raquel Helene Williams, who was Puerto Rican. Fun facts. First, George's mother was coincidentally named Emily Dickinson. Second, one of his works, El que Quiere, was influenced by Carlos Williams' mother, who was Puerto Rican, and so it showed how it is to be an American with Puerto Rican roots. Moving on, Carlos Williams was shown Shakespeare poetry by his father, and a few books such as Gilbert and Sullivan, Dante's Inferno, and the Bible. Because of the introduction to poetry by his father, he came to love it. Although he was into poetry, he also pursued a different type of career, a doctor. So he decided to become a doctor and a writer when he was in high school. He got his MD and his career went for 40 years, and when he had some free time to chill during his job, he would write poems and blank prescriptions, which is why many of his poems were really short. Carlos Williams was known as an experimenter, innovator, and revolutionary in American poetry, and was involved in the Imagist and Modernism movements. Imagist movement is when an author describes the precise images in writing and breaks up formulaic poetry. Modernism movement is a philosophical movement that breaks up past and traditional culture in poetry. He was also an inspiration to the Beat Generation movement, started by a group of authors who were influenced by the American culture and politics through the World War II era and wanted to change ordinary writing. Basically, Carlos Williams included a lot of imagery and didn't write formal and structured poems, which is why he strongly disagreed with T.S. Eliot. So his writing style was based on American subject and everyday circumstances that included a lot of imagery, personification, metaphors, symbolism, similes, and enchantments in his poems. Now I think it's time for some fun. Let's read one of his poems which I think is pretty fun to analyze. This is Just to Say by William Carlos Williams. I have eaten the plums that were in the icebox, and which you were probably saving for breakfast. Forgive me, they were delicious, so sweet and so cold. As you can see, there is many enchantments, and thus it tells the reader that each line is important. Now the main word we should take into account is plum, which symbolizes sexual desire or premature death of a person. As we read until the end, we notice this is a sorry not sorry note. Why? Well, in the stanza, William writes that there were some really cold plums that were supposed to be eaten for breakfast by another person. But either way, he ate the plums and doesn't regret it since they were delicious, which is the imagery part. Sounds very appetizing for a morning summer day. Then, if I apply the meaning of the symbolism plum, the poem is probably just a premature death of the plums. Now, it's your turn to analyze a poem. The Thinker by William Carlos Williams. My wife's new pink slippers have gay pompons. There's not a spot or a stain on their satin toes or their sides. All night they lie together on her bed's edge. Shivering, I catch sight of them and smile in the morning. Later, I watch them descending the stair, hurrying through the doors, and round the table moving stiffly with a shake of the gay pompons. And I talk to them in my secret mind out of pure happiness.